One Pallas's cat, two Pallas's cats, three Pallas's cats, four Pallas's cats, five Pallas's cats, six Pallas's cats, six Pallas's cats. That's how many of you are born here, in this rocky den, where you all lie pressed together next to your mother. The seventh Pallas's cat, who is currently watching you with that particular expression she has, calm, measuring. She knows something. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. For now, just take the warmth and the milk, once or twice a day. Because these easy days are almost over, and not all of you are going to make it. Oh, Mom's back from another hunt. Good that she was doing the hunting and not the other way around. Otherwise, none of you would be here to count. All right, let's not overdramatize. Your mom knows how to take care of herself. Before leaving the den, she always pauses at the entrance, looks, listens, waits a full beat. The chance of something bigger catching her is low, but it is never zero. Good thing you can't hear any of this. For the next few days, you won't have hearing or vision anyway. So don't stress about it. Just drink your milk. This is the easiest stretch of life, both for you and for your mother. Because around day 30, she'll bring something new into the cave. Meat. After that, she's feeding 6 mouths instead of nursing them. No more just showing up. Each of you is different. Everyone has their own pace, their own nerve. Some immediately rush to mom for a fresh mouse, and some just watch it leave. This will become even more obvious when you take your first walk outside. Right now, you're all clumsy and uncoordinated, limbs that haven't quite agreed on a direction yet. Every movement ends in a fall. But this is just the first session. From this day forward, things get serious. You're learning to walk, to crawl, to move in that low half crawl that matters more than either of those. All of it builds toward something. You can take it seriously, or you can say, not today, and go back to napping in perfectly fine weather. Mom might disagree, but the choice is always yours. One day she brings you another mouse, except this time it's still alive, and it's already trying to leave. You freeze, watch it move. Something in you tightens, and you start forward, low, slow, each paw placed without a sound. The mouse pauses. You pause too. A beat passes. You close the gap, weight shifting onto your back legs, and you jump. The mouse isn't where you expected it to be. Someone has now run into a rock for the third time. You try again. The mouse is faster than it looks and unbothered by the concept of fairness. You miss again. You back up. You watch it. You stalk it a third time, staying lower, slower, letting your body sink into the ground like you're part of it. This time when you spring, your paws find something. The mouse's career ends there. Some of you get it right on the first try. Some of you figure it out by the third or fourth. It doesn't matter when. It matters that the lesson lands. Because the same logic that applies to the mouse applies to you. Birds of prey, foxes, anything larger. The world is circular that way. You might think those are just scare stories, like your brother used to say. He was wrong. Statistically, only 1 in 3 of you will make it past year 1. Mom will try to raise all of you regardless, the ones lounging on warm rocks, and the ones actually paying attention. But the safety net has a fixed end date. In about 3.5 months, she'll leave you. Winter is approaching, and she's expended a lot of energy raising 6 cubs. You can tell by the condition of her fur and the fact that her ribs are more visible than before. She needs to gain weight before the cold weather sets in, and she needs to do it as soon as possible. Some of you won't even notice she's gone. By then, you're already running, hunting, trying to handle your own days. Others keep following after her. She'll tolerate that for a little while longer. She may even feed them once or twice more, but sooner or later, she turns and drives them off. No hesitation, no second chance. Winter is coming, and she cannot afford to keep raising animals that are no longer supposed to be there. Now each of you is alone. The territory is yours, and within it, the others are no longer family. They're competition. Nature does not make exceptions for that. So what do? Time to use everything you've learned. First, don't move. There's a bird circling above you right now. Not a small one. It's been up there for a while, and it is patient. You understand this because you've already settled onto the ground, slowly, without panic. And now you lie completely still. Your fur is the same color as the stone beneath you. When you press yourself against the ground, your silhouette doesn't look like a cat at all. It looks like a rock. The eagle up there will never realize that you're not just another rock. Not because you got lucky, but because you were made for this. Your fur, your shape, your stillness, it all comes together as one. You disappear. Predators can walk within a few feet of you and have no idea. That's not a defense. That's the whole architecture. But camouflage alone isn't a strategy. You still need shelter, food, and a location that gives you both. So what options do we have? A burrow. Too hot in summer. Hard pass. Rocks. Better. But not these. There's nothing to eat nearby, so there's no point in staying. But look at these. A shadow, a light breeze, and there are mice nearby. You dash toward them. That's right. You don't have much stamina. Pallas's cats were never built for speed. Speed is for animals that don't know how to disappear. So no, you're not sprinting there. You just head over at your usual pace. Quiet now. What's over there? You crouch down and start crawling forward. They're rodents. One rodent is sitting with its back to you. You close the distance to it. And fail. It didn't work this time. You try again. And fail again. What's going on? Don't you understand what I want? Statistically, only 1 out of 3 attacks hits the target. And which one is that, by the way? Looks like the third one. To survive in the wild, you constantly hone your skills. So the technique keeps sharpening. During a stalk, your legs become almost invisible in the grass. It looks less like crawling and more like drifting, the way water moves through rock. Short legs, low profile, an advantage, not a flaw. Same with your short ears. They keep the silhouette clean. For the particularly alert ones, you've learned something your mom showed you once. As you close the final distance, you flick the very tip of your tail. Slowly, barely. Just enough movement to catch a peripheral eye. Their attention snaps to it. Their body goes still. The tail holds them there, while the rest of you keeps moving. And when you spring, the gap has already closed. Your list keeps growing. Mice, birds, hares, pikas. Life is finding a rhythm. And then autumn. And then winter. And you can feel your coat getting warmer. By the time the first heavy snow falls, your fur grows back, and you might think you're a completely different cat. A Persian in winter and a Persian in summer. They're two different breeds. You have the thickest fur of all wild cats. Nearly 9,000 hairs per square centimeter. This isn't a design choice. It's the minimum necessary for survival when temperatures drop to minus 50 degrees. Without it, the steppe would simply freeze around you. The rocks that were shelter in October are just cold surfaces now. You need burrows, and you're not about to dig your own. So, you look for abandoned marmot burrows. By this point, you've sorted most of the animals out here into 2 groups: things you eat and things that want to eat you. Marmots don't fit either category. They dig the burrows first. Then they leave them behind, and you move in. That earns a certain respect. The depth of the snow in winter matters more than almost anything else. You choose a shelter where the snow remains shallow, no deeper than 20 centimeters. Walking through deep snowdrifts on short legs isn't dramatic. It's just really miserable and expensive in terms of calories that you can't afford. So you choose carefully. You're picky. You're demanding. You're the size of a cat, weighing between 3 and 5 kilograms, alone in the frozen steppe, with only your fur, patience. Sometimes not everyone makes it through this part, although this is by no means a sign of modesty. You have round pupils, like tigers, lions, leopards, and other big cats, including the snow leopard, your main rival for the title of highest mountain dweller, with whom you fight. The Pallas's cat record stands at over 5,500 meters. The snow leopard's is apparently a little higher, though to be fair, that snow leopard should probably be tested for doping, because any cat knows you do not reach numbers like that naturally. You'll take the record you've earned. You wait out winter in borrowed burrows. You burn the fat you spent autumn building. You do not rush the season. Every trip outside is short. Out, hunt, back to cover. Sometimes you still go out to catch mice. Sometimes that is enough. Sometimes it isn't. Not all of you survive this part. By late February, the cold begins to loosen its grip. The snow melts first on the southern slopes, and something shifts in you before the weather fully does. Suddenly you feel like going outside and hitting somebody. You find another male soon enough. He had the same idea. You walk up and start with the left paw, then the right. He gives some back. You take hits too. Claws catch your face and leave their marks. But backing down is not an option now. There's a female nearby. So you keep fighting until one of you gives up. He leaves first. You find her. And for a moment, it almost looks like this might turn into a quiet family life. Well, so much for family life. Then you go right back to what actually suits you. Solitude. She'll be fine. She's the one with the kits on the way. Anywhere from 1 to 8 of them. You've done your part. What she does from here is no longer your concern. The heavy winter coat comes off. Summer returns, and you move back to the cool rocks. Here, too, you do not cover much ground. A kilometer, maybe a kilometer and a half a day. People call that laziness. It isn't. You've already figured this place out. You know where the prey is, where the shelter is, and where the danger usually comes from. You are no longer searching. You are living. You live in mountains and semi-arid steppes, alone with yourself, and that suits you just fine. You are a Pallas's cat. 6 years pass. You are out looking for prey. When you hear something wrong, the wrong sound, the wrong rhythm, the wrong everything, you drop to the ground before the thought fully forms. Maximum stillness. Every instinct doing exactly what it was built to do. And against any normal predator, it would have worked. But there is a flashlight out there. The beam sweeps across the rocks, catches your eyes, and sends the light straight back. That is all they need. You run, but you were never built to outrun danger. You were built to disappear. And the thing that kept your kind alive, against eagles, foxes, wolves, and every other threat this landscape ever produced, does nothing against poachers, who know exactly what that reflected light means. You were built for the wild, not for this.